your heart is aching. If you could read them all, many the hopes that have vanished after the ball. The ladies, heaven bless them, now we love them everyone. We praise them and we toast them o'er a wine. We laud their many virtues and we sound their many deeds, and call them darling angels so divine.
The Girl I Left Behind Me is an attempt to answer a deceptively simple question, which is, why would a woman want to perform in public dressed as a member of the opposite sex? In particular, it looks at a handful of remarkable women who pioneered the art of cross-dressing on the music hall stage and on the operatic stage in the middle of the 19th century.
Very early in my career, I realised that when I'm singing, I don't have to behave. In fact, you might say that I make my living doing things I'd never do, saying things I'd never say, and wearing things I'd never wear.
The idea of the male impersonator, I think, is quite a sexy one. I think people have always enjoyed seeing girls dressed as boys. I mean, it runs through our entire cultural history, starting from the Principal Boy right up to the present day. You know, you often see pop singers, they'll do a bit of cross-dressing. I suppose Annie Lennox was an example of that. And now you've got, I mean, even people like Cheryl Cole, they put on a military outfit and a hat at a jaunty angle, and everyone gets very excited.
Young Johnny Dunn was 21. He liked to dance in each cafe. He liked the ladies, so they say. That's why he danced in each cafe.
We have a series of projects that we run here at Opera North called Resonance. We've been running for about 7 or 8 years, and it's basically an opportunity for us to test drive some projects at an early stage in their development. So usually a writer or a composer or a filmmaker or the such like will come to us and say, I've got this idea, I don't quite know what to do with it, and we'll help them to work that up into a project which either has got legs or we might discover through that process that actually the project isn't going anywhere, and we'll let it go.
Dominic thought, I wonder if Neil Bartlett would be interested in that, because some of my work has touched on this material before. And he called me, and you know, if you're running a venue like this, your job basically, I mean this in a loving way, is to pimp. You're putting together very interesting combinations of people and then putting them on the market.
You must know that my uncle is a farmer, keeps a large farm in the West.
I would say it probably came from Principal Boys in pantomime initially, and then the first phase of development was in America, and then it came over to Britain with the second male impersonator, Ella Wesner, who was American but put on a British accent. So she came over to Britain, then all the British people copied her, but most of them had their success in America.
And where I met that charming little pet was down by the old mill street.
Jess came to me with the idea. She'd been spending some time with these music hall songs, singing them, playing around with them, but she didn't quite know what to do with them as a theatrical presentation.
Now there's no need to get tense, because I'm going to sing the first chorus, and you can all be learning the words, and then next time you join in.
Good. And just take a pose and look at me. Okay, you look fantastic. Thank you, Jim. Now, good. That's very good. Something that women don't naturally do. Men all the time unconsciously point to themselves. Look at me, and particularly look at me. So that's a very good.
It's an amazing exploration in terms of the kind of the signs that the performer gives, and the way that sexuality and the meaning of the songs is conveyed.
I meet no end of nice girls, and upon my word at times I feel quite bashful when they say they love me. It seems that I'm a magnet that attracts them, as it were. There's no resisting me when I'm about.
Very good. How does that feel,
Yeah,
being
good.
him?
Powerful.
I have to say, I do think it works in two very particular ways. If you came basically going, oh, well, I hope it's the good old days, you know, I hope we get a bit of a sing-along, and I hope she's smart and sexy and sings all the great old numbers, tick. You get all of that. But also, if you're going, Neil Bartlett collaborating with a theatre soprano to do a thing about gender identity and performance, tick, you're going to get that as well. I think it's very much a piece of my work as well as of Jessie.
I'm Burlington Bertie, I rise at 10:30 and saunter along Temple Bar.
Singing love songs about other women, it's incredibly loaded, and I'm very interested in that. I'm very interested in the relationship that I will have with the audience, what they will think of me, and what I will think of them.
With the mail for a blanket, I'm burnt, and Rothschild was hurt. He said, you can't sleep there. I said, oh. He said, I'm a Rothschild, sonny. I said, that's damn funny. I'm Burlington Bertie from Bow.
We're making the show here in the Howard Assembly Room in Leeds. I mean, this room itself was originally opened in about 1880, I think, so around about the same period of time as the songs, most of the songs in the show are coming from.
I'm beginning to think I am tight, but I think I have room for one yet. I'm afraid that cigar was a little too strong, so it's back to the old cigarette.
As a place to work, the Howard has a lot to recommend it. I mean, it's beautiful to be in. It has a fantastic and very particular performance history, which involves some very heavy, serious artists, but also a whole popular tradition. It's right back in the centre of Leeds, socially, geographically, but it defines itself as an empty space. I can't imagine a conversation which would end, oh, well, you can't do that in the Howard.
But I think it's that intimacy that's going to be the thing about it, the way that Jess connects with the audience in every venue we go to, whether that is a big venue or a small venue. It's making that personal relationship between her and the audience that's going to be what it's all about.